Hey, what's up, homies, and welcome to a new video. Today I'm gonna show you my top 5 plugins that I use in lo-fi production. Enjoy and see you in the door. Okay, here we are now, and let's start with number 5. Number 5 is an EQ from Universal Audio called Pultec. I actually don't have an instance of Pultec yet in this production. This is such a powerhouse for making the bass sound way fatter. Without. And now with. It's kind of difficult to explain because there are two EQ curves when you're boosted and when you're Anton, means bring it back. Actually, that was a mistake in the production of the original Pultec, the analog one. And yeah, it ended up that producers are using this Pultec trick to make way fatter basses. It's an amazing plugin, and I probably I'm probably gonna leave it on this track because it sounds super dope having this pressing bass. Let's head now to my favorite plugin, number 4. It's the Realm reverb of Native Instruments. In my opinion, it's just such a lovely, good sounding reverb. Let me solo this melody that I have it active. Without. With. You have different algorithms. The grounded one that I really enjoy using on drums. The Airy is my to-go on melodies, pianos, guitars. The Cosmic, yeah, I barely use the Cosmic. I'm already super fascinated by the grounded and the Airy one, and this plugin is one of those that I already used for at least 6 years. Back in the days when I did techno music and stuff, I already had this one as one of my favorite plugins. I can show you how it sounds on the shakers. Without. It's really fantastic. I love this reverb so damn much. And then we can hop over to my favorite plugin, number 3. It's kind of an obvious one for if you're doing lo-fi, and actually one that I'm gonna apply. I left this key mix bus channel completely free because it will use two of my favorite plugins. The RC20 is just such a nice tool. I usually take off the noise because it's too aggressive in my opinion. I really like the wobble. It just it just made this super boring piano loop very interesting with like a few clicks. The built-in reverb is great when using different aspects of the plugins. If I'm not using the distortion or the wobble, I'm usually go with Raum. But this movement with the flux when you put it on space, you can see it here visually. It's so cool. I really love the sound of this. For the next plugin, number 2, it's the Cymatics Pluto Multi-Effects plugin that I had before I laid my hands on the RC20. I will mute the RC20 for a second because you can do a lot of great lo-fi stuff with the Pluto. My cat just calls me to let her outside. I'll be right back. See you in a sec. Here we go again, and she didn't want to go out. She heard like a weird noise, so probably in 5 minutes I have to stand up again. Okay, back to Pluto. I quickly dried everything from this plugin just to show you that it's kind of similar. It's maybe more dreamy because let's start with the wow and flutter. I think it's such a nice wow and flutter. Turn up the stereo. Delay. And even when not experimenting with it, if you have a melody that you kind of like, but it's on the other hand, it's still kind of a good melody, but sounding boring in the sound design. You can just like take a super dry and boring piano, put the Pluto on top of it, scroll through some presets. They have a lot great presets just to experiment a bit, then making some small adjustments with the knobs. What I really like in the cymatics, with the cymatics plugins, let me figure that out. Yeah, let's make it large. Can I not make it larger, please? If you're moving on a knob or a button, you see here a small text appears describing you everything that these plugins do perfect. Set the fast flutter frequency, set the slow wow frequency, spreads the modulated signal across the stereo field, set the balance between wow and flutter modulation. So I say for absolute beginners, this is something that they did really well, because even if you don't need this information, you just ignore it. But if you are not sure what each knob does, you can just read the small description about it, and yeah, go with that. Let's deactivate it because I really enjoyed the RC21. Let's listen to it in the full spectrum. And now, just to show you, I've now put a pull tag on, a RAUM, and an RC20, 3 of the 4 plugins that we went through already. Let me turn off all the 3 plugins that I just added to this. It was in those 3 channels since the video started, and listen to the whole thing without the plugins. It instantly turned this kind of good but boring production into something super interesting. Obviously, I have to take some of the volume and the mix channels down again. I kind of don't like that the melody is in mono. What actually doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, and now let's go to place number 1. And that's kind of a hard one for me, because it used to be the Suit 2. But meanwhile, since the Pro Q4 released, and it's kind of got a new feature that makes the Suit 2 not really needed, I would consider the new Pro Q4 EQ from FabFilter, my new number one. And if you're a producer that just started producing and you don't have a huge budget to spend, I would go with the EQ because both plugins cost around $200. But the Pro Q4 gives you with the new version this function to reduce the harsh frequencies. Let me show you this real quick. Let's put that on the keys. Pro Q, because I probably put it on the other instruments already. Right. First create a channel, then right click, make it spectral, tear that down, open up the Q. That's how I usually use it. And you see it's this section where it really drags something down, and that's the frequencies that can get harsh or like sounds unpleasant. Sorry, that sounds unpleasant for the listener, but not even actively knowing why. It's just like something in the background, you know. And another super cool function is put on the dynamic and boost these high-end frequencies here. Let's turn it off. And now on again. But yeah, I still use the Suit 2 on the master bus, just like for getting this slight help. Let me just open it up here to show you. It would happen after the mixing, what I'm not in. This is a beat that I'm still actively producing and is not ready for mixing yet. But yeah, in the master channel, have usually something like this, that the higher you go with this EQ dot, the more reduction will happen if something is harsh or unpleasant. And for me, it's super important to get this high and super smooth. Even though this high end now is pretty clean already, let me remove the Pro Qs and see how it looks now. Way more action here, right? Now I put the Pro Q4 that I put on the shakers before on again, and the reduction here is definitely way less. And yeah, when I take away the Pro Q and still have this one open up on this high position, the shakers are still kind of harsh. And with the Pro Q on the mix bus, it's super pleasant. And yeah, they're still too loud, but like I said, not mixed yet. And something I can do quickly is take my clap. It's also a sample from my sample pack and the rim. Put it on a new bus and add a little bit of Pro Q on this one too, because for Lofi it's still a bit too harsh. And that's the snare bus. Always rename everything the right way. This will make your production way easier. Now let's go here, yeah. Make spectral. I kinda get latency on it. That should not happen. Probably turn off the suit because I set it on ultra, and this needs a lot of CPU. Yeah, better. Also, to make a second point, make it dynamic. Yeah, now let's wash it out with a pure plate. I don't know why I'm end up keep producing this song, but why not? Great. Make it quieter. The kick could actually get some EQing as well. Actually, it didn't make it better this time, so let's get rid of um wrong one. Let's get rid of the spectral. Not everything is needed everywhere. It's also a good advice that I can give you. Yeah, and that was kind of my top 5 plugins. Number 5, the pull tech. Number 5, the realm. Number 4, wait. Number 5, the pull tech. Number 4, the realm. Number 3, the RC20. Number 2 is the Pluto of cymatics. And number 1 is a Soothe 2. And or new, it's the Fab Filters Pro Q4 that kinda shares the place still on the pole position, but the more I work with the new EQ from Fab Filter, the less I'm using Soothe. So yeah, it's also great on master buses, the Pro Q4, and I think I would not use the Soothe 2 in the future that much as I did before. Before this EQ, I used it on like every single mix bus and in the master, and I used so many instances of it that really killed my CPU, and now I don't have to do it. I hope you like this video, and hit the follow button, subscribe. I don't know, in YouTube it's subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like the video, share it with some friends, and write me a comment what topics I should go through in the next videos. That would be amazing for me to know what content actually to produce. As you know, this whole YouTube thing is pretty new to me. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Have a great weekend. Peace.